So my name is Angy Rivera, and my mom and I were born in Armenia, Colombia. And so Colombia, where we were from, did not have paved streets. There was no snow. No one spoke English. The streets were made out of dirt. And we grew up in a farm, so your neighbor was like miles away from you. And that was life, right? There was no electricity. Sometimes it was difficult to make ends meet. But we did it, right? We did it for a little bit. And I was born to my mom when she was 19 going on 20. And my mom was valedictorian of her class in Colombia. And so the idea of her being a young mother when she had all these great things going out for her was shunned upon. And she was kicked out of her house with me after I was born. And that's where our journey started together. My mom struggled to be able to put food on the table. She had to drop out of school, and things didn't get any easier for her. So in 1994, she decided to go to the United States of America because this was supposed to be the land of opportunities, the land of freedom, the land where money is made and all your dreams come true. So she sold everything she had, and with the connections that she knew from Queens, New York, we migrated here and landed in Queens, New York, August 29, 1994, which is now my sister's birthday, ironically. So our immigration anniversary and her birthday on the same day. And so the first neighborhood we ever came to was Queens. And she had friends here who helped her find a house because Queens was a community, right, where people spoke Spanish, and I was able to find pan de bonos and chorizos right here too. I was able to meet other people from the same country and the same community we came from, and it didn't feel so foreign. You were able to find community, and you were able to find people that attended the same church and spoke the same language as you did, were able to connect you to a job, were able to connect you to an apartment. And so Queens became a network of opportunities where we were able to settle down, find a one-bedroom apartment, find a job. I saw my mother work as a construction worker. She was a waitress. I saw her be a bartender. She was a home attendant. She was a babysitter. Because not only were we immigrants, but we were also undocumented. So the day we landed in New York, my mom and I became undocumented immigrants. And it wasn't enough that you had like immigrant printed on your face, right? Struggling to learn English, struggling to find work without a social security number. It made things really difficult to be able to find a steady place to live, a steady income. And so we moved a lot up and down Queens from 103rd. We lived on 82nd, on 74th. We lived in the Astoria area, and now we live in Flushing. And so my mom and I were undocumented for 19 years. And it wasn't all easy, but Queens made it good. You were able to still feel at home despite having all kinds of immigration issues, and meet other people who were dealing with similar circumstances, even if they weren't Latinos. I was able to meet other people from other ethnic groups and other races, and being undocumented taught me a lot about empowerment as well, and taught me a lot about fighting back and finding opportunities for yourself and for other people. So when I was in high school, I heard about the New York State Youth Leadership Council, and that is a nonprofit that works with undocumented young people across the state to be able to get equal opportunities in higher education, and so I'm a core member there now. And so my poem is more inspired by the recent changes that have been happening to Queens. I don't know if some of you have been following the stories in the news, how Roosevelt Avenue is being fought for basically, and there's people who want to keep it the way it is, and then there's a business improvement district that wants to change it and make it more businessy. And so this poem is dedicated to the beauty of Queens, but also the changes that I've seen, because I know that when they want to improve a neighborhood, it's not for the people that live there, but to encourage new people to come in, and that'll increase rent, property value, etc. So this poem is called Community, Not Condominiums. And it's inspired by this graffiti art that I saw in Brooklyn. I don't know if anyone has seen it. It's printed all over and it says, build communities, not condominiums. Some of the pieces in the poem are in Spanish. I didn't translate it, and that was on purpose, because I think when we are walking up and down Queens, you hear people speak other languages, and that's just the way it is, and there's no one there to translate it for you. You just hear it on the train, you hear it on the bus, you hear it in restaurants, and so the poem is not translated. Doña Maria is up before the sun rises. Moon shining on her face, she gets ready for the morning commute. It's her job to feed other people. Moon shining on her face, ella empieza a cocinar arepas, tamales, café y chocolate. Arepas made with corn and cheese. They start to melt on your mouth as soon as they touch it. Tamales wrapped up in warm leaves that break off at a single touch. Authentic café from the hills of Colombia, not Starbucks, chocolate de la abuelita. The food is hot and it steams up her small apartment in Queens, New York, where she has seen her children grow into young people. Their infant pen marks on the walls and the cracked tiles from rough play are still present. They wake up to the smell of comida caliente. That's not for you, she reminds them. Packed in her food truck, she makes her way down Roosevelt Avenue. Las luces shine all around her, always the same routine. True Colors Gay Bar is now closed after a long night of celebration. Terraza 7 as well. Newspaper clippings, apartment rentals, and jobs are stapled across every wooden pole. Se solicita mesera, one-bedroom apartment, close to the train, a dishwasher is needed, hablamos español, we speak English, a man is selling Social Security cards. Abundancia Colombian restaurant is right on the right, Mamás Empanadas on the left. There's a Catholic church too. Venga y pare de sufrir. Need help with paying your taxes? There used to be a movie theater here, right across the street from La Panaderia, near the hospital where she gave birth, Elmhurst. She arrives at the same street corner where she has worked the last several years, 74th Street. On this corner, in her truck, she has paid years of rent, food, school trips, clothes, construction of a house abroad, care for parents abroad, and saving for college degrees. Doña Maria knows these streets like the back of her hand, cracked and callous, the same streets she has walked up and down with her family on hot summer nights, ices and paletas in hand. The same potholes, the same broken bricks, the same graffiti. These streets have not changed. El dueño de la bodega speaks to her on a first-name basis as he carries the store pet, a cat. There are no strangers here, esto es comunidad. Moon shining on her face, she lights up her truck, ready for service. The lights read, open. ¿A cuánto los tamales? ¿Tienes más arepas? Un café, por favor, pero sin azúcar. Yo quiero un café, 2 de azúcar y un poquito de leche. Café para mí, más leche que café, con un poquito de azúcar. Solo una arepa para mí hoy porque estoy guardando mi figura. Hola, Doña María, ¿cómo está de bonita hoy? ¿Y sus hijos cómo están? Questions, comments, and food orders come her way. This is the routine, what puts food on the table. Doña María always cooks and sells just enough. Never more and never less. She's content with the little she has. It was never about wealth or riches. The sacrifices were for happiness. Sin papeles, pero con sueños. Sin papeles, pero con dignidad. Without papers, but with dreams and dignity. The 7 train runs every minute during rush hour, shaking the street when it passes by, waking everybody up. It runs from 42nd Street, Times Square to Flushing Main Street, purple, bright, illuminated and alive. The train is never empty, the train is never silent, the train is always busy, and the train is multilingual. From the train window, 5 points once smiled at us. Colorful and unique, art decorated its facade. Rain and snow come into the train, waiting the riders. JFK and LaGuardia Airport are there. At Queensboro Plaza, you can see the skyline. The Twin Towers were once visible from a distance. At 82nd Street, you can buy the latest fashions, cheapest jewelry, colorful communion dresses, quinceañera outfits, or some elotes, samosas, and roti, or devour a bistec cebollado a Quisqueya. On 103rd, you can buy tacos, real tacos. de carnitas o al pastor. There are no Taco Bells here or Chipotles. There used to be a movie theater though. For a cheap price, you and your family could watch 2 films for the price of 1. It's a CVS now. Helado de coco and mudanzas papi work out of there. Dozens of immigrant screenings, attorneys, and organizations have come together on the 7 train. Mets Willis Point was once Shea Stadium. Asados, parrilladas, tortas de milanesa, gol! Sunday soccer games. The Unisphere, the Andean Food Festival, the Colombian Festival, Men in Black was filmed here. San Simon dance practice, the Queen Zoo, which is always open, but it's always empty. Where are the animals? The Hall of Science, rowing competitions, family gatherings, música playing in the background. This is Flushing Meadows Park. Blocks of auto repair shops, tinting, cracked glass, new lights, oil change, new paint job, affordable prices. This is Willis Point. Last stop, stand clear of the closing doors. 2 blocks up from the last stop, you can buy $4 sushi rolls, hot pot dinners, fried and steamed dumplings. Buy 1, get 1 free taro, coconut, apple, chocolate, mango, bubble tea, milk tea, green teas, busy mall, some chai tea, Chinese New Year, dim sum, moon festivals, red decorations, admiring the dragon racing up and down the streets. It's a tradition. There are no strangers here. This is community. How will Doña Maria sell her tamales, arepas, café, chocolate when the streets become businesses she cannot pronounce? Will the café con leche compete against the Starbucks? These signs of a cleaner and safer Queens erase the resiliency already here. We were never dirty to begin with. Will her house stand untouched during gentrification? My childhood is splattered across the windows of houses and buildings in Queens. Woodside, Corona, Elmhurst, Roosevelt, and Flushing, home away from home, the only communities that have nurtured my growth, where I met Mexican and Dominican food, where I learned to play dominoes and heard bachata playing from the neighbor's window. Home away from home, where I was welcome since I was 4, Espanol spoken on every block. I never felt alone or scared. Community, not condominiums, there are no strangers here, and Doña Maria packs up her truck. Her casita waits for her. Tomorrow will be a new day, filled with hopes that these streets will always stay the same. Thank you.